or if Gaimin Gladiator will push it to a next game. We're gonna head into this third game.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Gaimin Gladiators turn to ban. Team Liquid's turn to ban.
It is match point for Team Liquid. 2 games up here, and they will start this game 3 on the Dire side. They will have their first pick. It means Gaimin Gladiators is Radiant side, and they will have their overall last pick. And it also means that we already know what the Naga side will do. And we've seen the learning curve for the Tusk as well, as both Naga and Tusk, together with the Doom and the Sand King, are banned in this third game. Team Liquid, they have so far banned that Broodmother as well as the Lone Druid, and we'll follow that up with Diracho's Alchemist as well. But once again, for the third time in a row, Nature's Prophet, first pick by Team Liquid. Lacoste.
This is confidence. This to me says the ball is in your court. Like, you gotta address this. Like, you gotta do something about this Nature's Prophet. We've shown it 2 times already. You were unable to beat it. There's not gonna be Tusk this time around, so he's not gonna have that extra save, extra damage that could come out. Gaimin Gladiators, they know what's up. They need to shift things around, and I like the switch up already. I think Windranger has shown, and we've also seen from Mickey yesterday, when it's a good game for Windranger, you should pick it. And also the itemization that he did go for the Revenant's Brooch. There are still a lot of things in Dota to be explored.
And it's going to give Diracho an earlier timing to play on. It's going to give him the ability to go through the gate and help his team when the side lanes are going poorly. He couldn't do that in either game. We've seen Diracho just hit the jungle, come out with a minute 15 Maelstrom into BKB, collapse with his team and take a lot of objectives. I want to see that kind of playstyle out of Diracho. We don't want to see him sitting back and farming on a DK for 50 minutes.
Yeah, and in the previous game, we saw elements of the strategy coming to life for Gaimin. Like, when Liquid came to the high ground, there was points of pressure. Liquid had to second guess how often they could be aggressive. It was just Diracho versus the world. So this time around, with the Windrunner, have some elements of, Tofu being able to make a statement. And then when Liquid comes for that inevitable death ball, be ready, have the tools to try and withstand it. Because so far, not the case.
And also just hero to hero, Windranger has a very comfortable matchup against Nature's Prophet with the Windrun, with the power shot to cut through his Sprout. With the Whirlwind later on, she's always going to be able to output damage even if she's Gleipnir'd.
Yeah, we got a Monkey King and a Shadow Demon ban. It is Team Liquid themselves that ban out the Shadow Demon there. So 2 saving supports that we've seen so far in both games are removed. I wanted to point out that in terms of offlaners, we now do see the Bristleback removed from the pool by Gaimin themselves, but that Visage is still in. Ooh. The one that we saw coming out for Team Liquid in game number 1, Visage is still in, and Tigov, that's a Marcy.
I would love to see Liquid go for a Treant Protector now, but I'll cover that in a second. Gaimin, though, with the Marcy, we used to see it a lot when it was about maybe half a year ago, because against ranged cores, you get that phase boots BKB, you get a Basher, you lock onto a ranged hero, and they don't get to play Dota. They get, half HP, 100 to 0 by the support. It also amps up the Windrunner, and it does take a bit of time, though, but it's the aggression that Gaimin expect. Liquid, though, like I said, the Treant Protector, I'd love this here. The Overgrowth against Windrunner, you get Maelstrom BKB, Overgrowth, you're now nullified in the fight. Wow. The speed in which Liquid want to play.
It's the same for every single game. Visage gives them that extra gold. We've seen game 1, that Visage, even though they were 7k gold down, all it takes is one good fight. Suddenly your net worth is going to skyrocket because of your facet. I want to see what the pairing is going to be if they want to go for another melee hero. So far, Boxy, the only melee hero he has played in the tournament has been Tusk, but Boxy also has different heroes that he can bring. I think Dark Willow is going to be probably contested as well when it comes down to Boxy, because what Windranger wants to do, she wants to run in, and it's going to be hard to maneuver. That's why Clockwork is also going to be a strong pickup against her.
You're also comfortable putting this Clockwork on Boxy if another support presents itself, and it creates a good lane with Visage. On the topic of Marcy, we could... I know Mirana hasn't been doing that great, but this idea of picking Mirana with Marcy and a ranged core, like amplifying her damage to the max and taking fights based off of that, could be a strategy that reemerges in this grand finals.
We did see Gaimin Gladiator go for the Mirana-Marcy combo, but they did it on the 2 support positions rather than going for that Mirana as a core. Can still be a flex. The same way that Gaimin Gladiators have played Windranger as both a carry and a mid lane this event so far.
Gaimin just need to respect that their heroes do not provide damage without items. And right now, Liquid are... It's reminding Gaimin, if you do not win your lanes to enable yourself to farm, we are going to break your map. So the next two picks, I'd like to see them at least be able to push out the lanes or provide purpose, because I don't think going for pick-off play on Gaimin is going to help you. Even if you get pick-off on 2, you are going to miss out.
Gaimin Gladiators.
Let's see what they get. The Underlord.
I mean, Underlord is the hero that you kind of default to when you're playing against push lineups. So things like Nature's Prophet and Visage that are going to run at your buildings, you can offset that with your Firestorm, with your early auras and group up early on in the game. So it is an 8 specialty hero. It did lose in game 1, but it feels quite protected in this game 2. There's no Bristle back in the pool. Monkey King was taken out by Team Liquid. Alchemist was taken out by Team Liquid. And the only heroes that are good against Underlord that are left in the pool aren't good in this meta. You know, heroes like Ursa and Slark.
You did mention, Effie, that this Clockwork can be played as a position 4. You know who's a really good position 5 player? That's Insania with his Rubik, potentially. If he wants to steal some of the spells, mostly against the Underlord, now it might be the time to bang it out.
Well, they'll first go back for that Nisha puck. So we'll have to wait and see what comes out in that final phase, as Morana will be the hero picked up by Gaimin Gladiators. Again, the flex potential still there. We have seen them run this earlier. It was actually the same lane as Morana Underlord in their second game against Tundra today.
It's a much better game style for Tofu to play a hero that's not going to be level 3, minute 7, something that can play with Quinn early on. And like I mentioned earlier, the Solar Flare as a means to buff up damage on Windranger with that also Solar Crust that's going to be bought by one of the 2 supports placed on her with the sidekick, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, Quinn has to find a hero that can punish Puck in the lane. If Quinn can shut out the Puck, then there's life to Gaimin's draft. The Underlord will buy the auras, you'll get to the BKB timing Windrunner, and there's a game on your hand. So I'm really looking at Quinn finding the hero that can stop Puck from just blowing up this game. And of course, Sniper, Xtreme Gaming, they utilize this multiple times to prevent Puck from playing the game. Quinn just needs to go, he's got the last pick, a lot of pressure on him. He has to find the hero to stop Nisha from continuing his streak of being undefeated on Puck.
Yeah, Void Spirit's still available, so I think they will still remove it, because it's a good matchup. It's also a physical damage. They want something that's going to scale, something that's going to utilize this Morana ulti, maybe even this sidekick. Most of the damage is going to be on the Windranger, but we've seen 4 Protect 1 strategies not working most of the time, because you are lacking damage in these mid and late game fights.
This is where it's funny what's been going on with DK, because it's another great DK pick for Gaimin Gladiators, but every time every time they've run it against Liquid, they have lost. So I mean, this DK would fit the bill of the Instant Stun versus the Puck, a hero that takes advantage of Solar Flare, like you mentioned, but I think their confidence in this hero is broken at the moment.
So much damage with the last pick as well. Dark Willow plus Visage in lane, super high damage, Clock and Nature's Prophet. They both like to play onto the map as well. It is so scary how quick Liquid can ball up and try and take the fight. Will Quinn answer this with a counter-aggressive hero? Will he have the hero that shuts down Puck in lane? Or just bring the team fight? There's so many questions that Gaimin need to answer with this last pick, but you can't answer them all with a single hero. They're going to have to choose one of the poisons and then try and cure it.
Give me Shaker or give me that Ricky again. It looks like a god-tier Ricky game one more time. They tried it, it didn't work, but this time around, they don't have the double save.
You believe in it?
I do believe in the hero. I thought the hero is going to be picked up so much more, but seems like there were other heroes available on the menu throughout the tournament. Dark Willow is the one that I did mention, where they're going to be troubles maneuvering, and you can also control the fight. So you have Cogs, you have Puck Coil, you have Dark Willow with the Terrorize, with the Bramble. So Windranger needs to get into a fight somehow pre-BKB. When it's time.
Why not? Why not, T?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, maybe they go for a Timber for another body, but the Quinn Pangolier wreaked havoc in 2023. You know, it fell off a little bit in 2024, but it is a Quinn specialty. It is a hero that can buy time, that can open up the game, and that's all Gaimin really need to do. You go to a high ground or an objective defense. If the Pango and Underlord can keep the fights going, eventually the double buff up of Marcy and Morano will give Winrunner access to the fight. But it's all about buying time. Gaimin need to choose the correct fights. If they take take 1 or 2 bad fights, that's it. The map's lost. You're going to struggle so much. So a lot of pressure, again, on Gaimin.
The thing is, Puck is very happy to play against Pango with that Dream Coil. If you're picking this Pango, you're defaulting for comfort in this potential elimination, this potential loss at the Grand Finals. Give your players their best heroes, their most comfortable picks. And what this Pango will do is control the backlines in a way that he wasn't able to comfortably in the last few games. And as this backline control is happening, hopefully Dyrachyo just comes in as a beast with all this damage and takes his team to a Game 4.
Let's find out if we're going to have that Game 4 or if we will be ready to crown a champion here at the International 2024. But before we head into that game number 3, though, we're heading over to the stage where we're hearing from Coach Blitz.
Prepare for battle.
Here I am.
Well, there we have it there, Blitz. Coming up with some jokes about his support. So the funny thing is, I guess this draft, so from Liquid, we are seeing indeed a bit of a change. It's not the Tusk Shadow Demon again this time. The cause that he was talking up there, Blitz, on his team Liquid. They're getting to play stuff that we've already seen so far this series, and it's looked pretty good, Fog.
Yeah, this time I would say their draft it's much more aggression. Last time we saw multiple different saves and stuff like that. This time it's all out, just go, go, go time. But Gaming, they've got a very formidable draft. They've got Quinn on his signature Pango that he's been waiting to bust out here. They've got this Wind Ranger with tons of amplification from the Solar Flare, from the Marcy. We should be in for a treat for this one.
We
Let's hope so.
absolutely should. Hopefully indeed. 2-0 at the moment, Liquid. Just this one game that stands between them and claiming that championship title here at the International 2024. Can Gaimin Gladiators turn these things around? And as you say, yeah, the Quinn Pango coming in last. I mean, as talked about by the panel, obviously a comfort pick for Quinn, but also on paper, looking at the matchups, a good game for the Pango in general, or what do you sort of see the future being for Quinn this game?
Just has to really watch out for the puck coils for the most part inside this early game. Besides that, there's no real BKB piercing disable. Once he gets rolling in most of these fights, he's gonna just be able to kind of commit forward there. So just has to watch out for those early initiations that come out from the puck, the silence in particular. But yeah, it can look like a very, very good Pango game if he's able to get through that type of stage of these silences. Dyrachyo, let's see how he's able to sustain, because Boxy at 33, they've been menaces with this Visage combo.
Yeah, look how low Dyrachyo is. He's got to be careful sneaking around the trees here. Boxy is hunting for him.
He's got power. Boxy might just be able to find him.
If he could get 2 more hits in, he'll pretty much have. And the Tango regen starting to kick in for Dyrachyo. I mean, either way, this is pretty painful, being forced right back from the lane.
All right, Celery, you're farming under the tower now.
All right, Celery moving up to the carry. I mean, in the past we have had Wind Ranger support. I mean, we'll see how much of a hit that sort of takes to him at this early first wave or so that Dyrachyo just gets completely forced away from.
He got every last hit, Owen. Celery got 8 of them.
He's ready.
He literally got every single one of those last hits. So even though the Wind Ranger got 0, he did ensure to get those. And he's level 2. Dyrachyo. There's only level 1, but they do have that power spike of the 2 now on the Marcy. Very well done there from Celery.
And this bottom lane, they've got to be so careful against this Boxy 33 Dark Willow Visage duo. We've seen 33's Visage. If he starts to get these kills, get that gold advantage, this hero, especially in 33's hands, gets completely out of control.
Does get that Shadow Realm off. They've got the level 2s. Dyrachyo has to be super careful. If that was level 2 Boxy, that's probably a kill on Dyrachyo there, because they would have had those brambles.
Yeah, he has to be so careful here, Dyrachyo. Whilst Liquid have this XP advantage against him in the lane.
It's tough to look away from here. We are able to glance toward the mid right now, and we see Quinn doing very good in that matchup versus Nisha. Brambles come out bottom, doesn't catch Dyrachyo, but Celery put low. A second Soul Assumption.
That's a lot of damage. The hit from the Shadow Realm of the Soul Assumption. It's enough. First blood for 33. As I say, you got to keep an eye on how much money this lad's going to be able to make from this lane. Getting a first blood, getting actions with the Soul Assumptions. This could be tough for Gaimin Gladiators down here.
It could definitely be tough to Dyrachyo in particular. When you mess up your first wave like this, and you have to just bring so much extra regen, it is tough to kind of recover when Visage just gets so much extra gold. You can bring all this extra mana regen to keep getting the spam going. And overall, for Wind Ranger in this game, now that we can look at a little bit of hesitation for a moment that he's not dying, there's an insane amount of magical burst for this hero. Not the tankiest if you get off to a little bit of a tough start. If they just throw constant nukes onto her early, could be difficult for Dyrachyo.
Quite the recovery required. 3 minutes in, just 4 last hits here so far that Dyrachyo's been able to find in the safe lane.
I can't even look elsewhere. I keep trying to look to a different lane to see how they're doing, but yeah, they just keep getting put so low, and the wave's going to push out again.
I think so far on the other side of the map, Mickey 15 for 4 against the 7 for 3. Another lane in which Gaimin Gladiators having a bit of a slower start when it comes to the farm in their core matchup.
Which is the power of this Nature's Prophet with this Treant. The Mirana in general can't really apply too much pressure up here. You can try to like arrow this Treant and stuff like that, being able to slow down the farm of Mickey, it's going to take quite a bit longer. Maybe when level 3 comes out onto Ace, they can look to start putting a little more aggression, but it's very good lanes kind of across the board from Liquid. It's just Quinn having that advantage in mid.
He's got to do a lot on his Pango. Well, we have seen him in the past really pop off when he gets a good start in the Pango there. He's going to have to do something crazy this game because, yeah, the openings on the side lanes are pretty much the rougher ones that Gaimin Gladiators have had so far this series.
It's wild to see how much last hits the supports have. Of course, we mentioned Celery with the 10 that he had from those first 2 or 3 waves, but also Tofu's just been arrowing creeps and also getting some himself, so... The CS looks pretty bad on the cores, but at the least they do have a couple extra on those supports that almost not fully even things out, but kind of do.
They'll try and make the jump hit. It's a good amount of burst thrown down over towards Dark Willow, but Boxy is able to fight back with the Shadow Realm. He's going to try and do so, but another dispose comes in. Boxy's going to go down. Gaimin Gladiators sort of baiting him into trying to take that fight back towards them. They'll come out on top of him, find a very important kill between the two of them to strike back at Liquid on this bottom lane.
The raindrops have started to come out for bottom lane. Most important thing you can pretty much buy when you're playing versus Visage, so you don't just get constantly chunked down. The damage is still incredibly high, but now you'll be able to at least survive the first 2 of those Soul Assumptions. Bottom, they also get another throwback onto 33. I don't believe they have enough damage, though.
He's pretty beefy now with the 2 braces and the wand on top of it. So a lot of burst is going to have to be thrown his way to try and take him down during this early stage of the lane.
Insania getting chased out here a little bit by Tofu. Does have the Lotus, should be fine.
As the mid matchup goes,
getting a bit more even.
It is indeed. A little bit of a catch up from Nisha. I mean, his puck play been pretty phenomenal. I believe he had to lose a game here.
He's really been pushing the limits on some of these
on top lane.
Euros as Mickey.
Talking about pushing the limits here. Mickey's going to get run down. Ace and Tofu chasing him off into the trees, and Insania not quite in position or having the tools to hold them back this time.
I like that's like the kind of the result of what happened when Tofu was just clicking and poking Insania on the side there. They see that opportunity to go from it. Swashbuckle. Big damage on Tanisha, keeping him low.
And Quinn has hit the 6. Hard for him to make a play on his own against the puck.
Radiant.
Can't look to play for the power rune. It's the biggest power tends to be there for the Pango, is playing around that power rune early on with the Rolling Thunder, just kind of chain CCing somebody. Heavy rotations coming in. The coil catches, though.
It's going to come out immediately. The silence follow up as well as the TP, and they've got the burst to take Quinn out before he gets the chance for a shield crash.
Tofu will be at least able to take away that rune, so Nisha doesn't get that refill. But yeah, Nisha, no hesitation. The second he hits 6, gets that Dream Coil because Quinn was still low.
Bottom lane, starting to see, Dyrachyo
getting better.
Indeed, he's recovering slowly but surely after what was a very rough opening few minutes to this third game.
He is isolated, though. We are seeing the Marcy making the moves around Celery, looking to get involved elsewhere. Insania.
It's going to be off the mark there with the rebound.
Catching.
So with the pit, I mean, Insania's going to kind of bring them back over towards him there with that little bit of unfortunate cogs. The arrow angle from Tofu, it's perfect. Comes in, Starstorm also just to the limits of the range. It's enough damage to catch Insania out.
And look at this move, the old school Dyrachyo move. Quick movement, Mickey. Might not expect this.
I don't think he expects this whatsoever. See if Dyrachyo's got enough setup to buy time for the rest of the team to move over. Tofu's trying to head in. He's got the arrow back up in a second. Leaps in for the burst damage. Mickey, he's got no one to help out. Gaimin Gladiators. The Sprout comes out from Mickey. It won't save him. Aggressive moves here that are really helping them just kind of alleviate the pressure that was being applied on them from the rough start to the lanes. Getting Dyrachyo involved like this, it's these sort of moves that will start to get them the actual overall gold lead in this early game.
I love seeing that move. Celery just ditching bottom a bit, and then you see that Dyrachyo's like, yeah, well, I can just go through this gate. I don't have anybody behind me, but I can just join in to shut down this Nature's Prophet, who dies now back-to-back. Mickey is getting caught out early here. That level 6 is going to come out quite a bit later than they had in those last two games. That Wrath of Nature pressure, it's not going to be there as early as I think Liquid initially anticipated to have. They will have the 6 on 33, so bottom tower, they do have to have someone here to occupy. Dyrachyo has to be careful.
He's going to get caught in the bramble. Immediate TP's coming in to try and help it out. They've got the Fiend's Gate as well, bringing in the numbers, Gaimin Gladiators, and 33 is going to go straight away, or at least try to for the Twin Gate, but the pit's there. Into the roll from Quinn. They're going to be able to catch 33 on his attempt to escape. He's bumped down to the low ground. They're still able to reach him with the damage of the Firestorm to take him out. Gaimin Gladiators making some excellent early game moves here, up and down the map, catching Liquid out time and time again.
This time they're on point with these early rotations, just like we saw in the first game in particular. Those first 10 minutes of the first game also, they did have, what, a 7,000 gold lead or so. This one, playing around this Underlord, this map mobility, it's fast.
They know that Mickey's around here somewhere, Quinn. See if he's going to be able to bully Mickey. Mickey into the trees, pops up the Nature's Wrath, the rebounds in. Mickey, he's got no teleportation, no TP scroll. They're both on cooldown. He'll sprout himself in, but they'll still be able to reach over, take him out again. The moves continue from Gaimin Gladiators. In the mid, the jump's made. Nisha's able to burst through. Tofu did have to use the Dream Coil for that in return.
3 kills now onto Mickey, though. He still is 900 ahead of Dyrachyo, at least on the gold, but those kills are definitely going to inflate the other cores there of Gaimin Gladiators. Quinn, it's just constant moves around. They are not looking to slow down. Even if they don't have Rolling Thunder, they want to occupy these lanes. They don't want to lose these towers early on versus this Nature's Prophet Visage lane.
Dire's top tower.
More rotations.
Trying to lead in a burst through the Familiars. He's actually able to get one of them there. Easy gold for Quinn.
And he's got Rolling Thunder up in 5 seconds, so he feels safe to do so.
Difficult for Liquid to fight into this area of the map. They have to hold back. They have got the creeps pushing in on them, so 33 will manage to keep farming safely underneath his own tower.
Bit difficult for Liquid to make that first move without Coil or without the hook shot. A little difficult for them to at least get a jump onto some of these squishier heroes. I mean, again, look at Quinn. It's immediate aggression. They just keep wanting to look at this top side, keep wanting to slow down Mickey.
I mean, eventually, Mickey, we'll see if they catch him this time. This time he's at the deepest camp possible.
He doesn't see too much on the map either, so is he going to see this coming?
See what he wants to do after he clears up the camp. Quinn's actually bailed out. And lucky enough for Mickey that Quinn made that call to pick up the farm in the mid, because if Quinn stuck around, they could have had a shot at taking Mickey down again.
Levels on the supports for Gaimin Gladiators both have hit 6 at a good margin ahead of those supports on the side of Liquid. Big damage that can come between the two of them. The Solar Flare amping up the Marcy. This Marcy definitely has potential to even solo kill some of these cores early on because of how good of a start that Celery's had. Even though it's a 5 position, throw a Solar Flare on there, Mickey could definitely be in trouble.
Yeah, Tofu on top of that. Both of their supports on Gaimin Gladiators having, maybe not to plan, but that stronger start because strong as the cores out in the mid. The burst comes through. Quinn, not a chance to get out of this one, but maybe a chance for Gaimin Gladiators' team to find something in return as the numbers turn up to get the pick control onto Nisha, but no further burst as Liquid turn up the full 5-man here to put some pressure in on the mid lane.
They get that initial catch, the coil. It's the one thing that Quinn has to watch out for this game. If they can get burst down during that coil silence. Boxy was there for the follow-up. Nisha applying big pressure onto this mid tower here. I believe he has his Witchblade nearly finished already.
At 33, will swing back down towards the bottom lane. Try and make sure that Dyrachyo doesn't end up getting too much space.
Where did that extra catapult come from? Did that come from like top lane? 2 catapults from Dire were just hitting the mid tower. It's 11 minutes in. Wait, what? That was weird. I didn't see where it actually came from. But Mickey, he dies, but it's the thing about the Nature's Prophet is you just get back onto the map really fast and you farm super quick. So still having that disparity between him and this Wind Ranger, it's 1,100 difference between the two of them. Still pretty big. Dyrachyo is, of course, going to have these amp ups. He's going to have this amp from the Marcy and from the Solar Flare very early. Yeah, Mickey just keeping that difference at the least.
And Quinn wants to keep bringing the action. Down towards the bottom, him and Tofu. They want to try and find 33 ideally. I mean, they'll settle for any core.
Oh, and look at the build 33 is going for. Just straight Crimson Guard. Knows how much physical damage they have from the Pango. Very cool approach.
And Anisha stepping up pretty far in the mid. And finding the opening onto the puck's pretty difficult for these heroes.
That's always going to be a problem for them, is shutting down this puck. Quinn has to be careful every single time the Nisha does step up. Dyrachyo can't go for that one. Dyrachyo now could be in trouble himself.
Sanya's got the hook shot. They're ready to get in with the catch. They drop down the cogs. They manage to trap Dyrachyo. He's gone. Quinn jumps in with the Rolling Thunder, looking for kills in return here. Get the opening bounce onto Insania. Ace comes over with the Fiend's Gate.
Liquid's got the numbers.
He'll get caught on the backlines by Mickey TPing over. The Fear catches onto both of them. 33 bringing in the Familiar, having the chain stun to control Gaimin Gladiators, take down Celery, and now turn the damage towards Ace as Liquid, they take out 4.
Big mistake from Dyrachyo, trying to get involved early on. He's still so fragile. There's so much magic damage and control. Nisha just throws the coil out onto him and they bring him down. Quinn can't actually do anything with his Rolling Thunder versus this many heroes. Liquid, they've got all 5 there so fast, even versus that Fiend's Gate.
And they push so hard off the back of taking a fight like that. The tier 1 in the mid lane wiped out of the game.
Gaimin can't really make too many of these mistakes early on when they're playing versus this fast of a lineup. Dyrachyo has to look to get involved later on. He can't be the first one to get caught like this.
We see her again.
It's way too aggressive from him. There's no way you're going to catch Nisha like this with this type of shackle shot. And even then, there's not really much follow-up.
And whilst Gaimin Gladiators supports, they've got a lot of scaling. They just don't have the methods to sort of bail a core out of that sort of position. They can't save it.
No, and these, to be honest, those Brambles, Boxy just completely split the fight. Both of those supports can't really jump in through these Brambles or through these cogs very effectively. It's a perfect fight from Liquid.
It really is, and as we've seen so many times with 33's Visage, he's always there for the cleanup.
Oh yeah, that extra gold. I mean, you can just roam around as this Visage, it feels like, because of this facet, you just get way too much. And now cleaning up these Ancients on top of having that fight win. Big things going for Liquid. And Crimson Guard, it's very soon finished up for 33. So in that next fight, Gaming does have to be a bit more careful. And yeah, Dyrachyo just has to get involved way later on. Quinn is very close to Blink Dagger, so that's probably how they want to look to take that next fight. But there's definitely a Nisha problem. This puck 3-0 and 4 so far, having a pretty much, a flawless game. The lane was a little bit difficult, but overall, all of his movements have worked, and every coil has caught a perfect target.
And we saw earlier this series what he could do on the puck when he was just completely crushed in the early game. This time around, he's at the top.
He is. Ace does have a pipe, so they'll be able to stop at least some of this big magic damage that Liquid has early on. It is pretty overwhelming, that damage and control. And their team fight overall for Liquid, it's very threatening. The team fight for Gaimin Gladiators is like 90% reliant on how Quinn is able to get with a Rolling Thunder. Liquid, they have just coil, they have the hook shot, they have this Bramble Maze plus follow-up with Terrorize. They have a lot of different ways to control these fights in comparison.
Yeah, they're ready to go again, Liquid. I know even with the last few fights, kind of Gaimin Gladiators have been the ones to sort of hand them to them with their failed attempts at starting off action. Liquid, they're not afraid to start running at them with the lead that they have. Even with this moment where Nishi hasn't quite got the Blink Dagger pickup, he's very close to the money for it, but was just looking to see if they could try their chances here with the Dream Coil and the amplified damage rune in the bottle. Bottom lane, Tofu tries to TP out, but the Terrorize hits there from Boxy. Liquid, they'll get another pick-off.
And now Mickey, he's got the Gleipnir, so he can get involved a lot easier than Dyrachyo in particular. He's got a 2,005 gold difference, and this Gleipnir, it's going to be annoying for the Pango. Until he has something like a shard or anything to get this Dispel, that's an extra form of catch, an extra form of just a little interrupt that Quinn can struggle versus. Liquid accelerating again here. Nisha, like you said, that blink is done. Amp damage, level 13 on this puck. Starting to get heavy momentum their way.
And keeping pressure on you, multiple lanes.
And Mick is just always farming. Anytime there's downtime, Nature's Prophet. You're always able to join every single one of these fights. Liquid, looking for this tier 2 bottom. Does Gaimin want to actually approach down here? It's dangerous.
They've got the fortification, but that might be the extent of their defense for now, Gaimin Gladiators, against this heavy push from Liquid.
Look at Nisha. He's jumping in and seeing all three heroes there, so he knows that Gaming's potentially mounting a defense. He's got the coil at the ready.
All right, they want to try for it, Gaimin.
This is risky. The tower's dropping to Racho. Does have the Maelstrom finished up.
They're bringing the whole team in for this one. Liquid, they themselves, they're also ready to return fire. Teleports at the ready for Mickey if he sees a chance to fight. He's also got the Wrath of Nature back off cooldown. Quinn, he'll start the action though. Looks over towards the backlines, finds the connection onto 33.
This is deep. Way too deep here for
shot.
Quinn.
I mean, fortunately for Gaimin Gladiators, Insania is going to whiff that one. Doesn't get the connection. Gives Gaimin Gladiators the chance to back up underneath the tier 2. Liquid, they may just be ready to dive it though. The cogs are going to get laid down. Push back Quinn. Turn around with the shackle. But Nisha's in with the silence over towards Tofu. Tofu backs off. Solar's burst coming in. They've got the catch with the Terrorize. Boxy forward beautifully there. Onto the three of them. The Fear pushes back Quinn. They take down the Pango. They turn towards Duraggio. The Solar Assumption burst, bringing him low. Celery comes in with the rebound to try and get Duraggio out of this one. Celery tries to stand his ground and fight back, but he will fall. Ace to go down as well under the tier 2. They cannot defend.
Liquid is just smashing them. Nisha gets a 3-man coil onto the most crucial target. The Pango gets controlled completely. Quinn, it feels like almost like a super ambitious move for him to dive forward there with that Rolling Thunder. They just disengage.
He's going to TP beyond the tower. Nisha with the forward. They get the Duraggio as well.
Liquid is doing it.
This game getting massively out of control for Gaimin Gladiators. Just 17 minutes in, they're down 10k gold.
They're feeling desperate. I mean, that whole fight bottom was just super awkward for them trying to force that issue. They're under the vision of Liquid. Liquid just resets. The Rolling Thunder connects on nobody. Now they can back up, pick up another set of pretty much full items onto these cores. Gaimin Gladiators, they need more time to be able to fight, but time does not feel like it's going to be valuing them at all with Liquid getting so much.
Yeah, Liquid, they don't want to give them any of that. Nisha
going for the solo play. He's got the MP.
They've got so much magical damage here on Nisha alone that Quinn, he's gone. Mickey, he turns up, comes and borrows the kill after Nisha's hard work.
Hey, Nisha's just running the show.
And Insania, he's got hookshot if they want to try and make a play here, and he does. He's going to be straight in on the attempted, stop to keep pace here, controlled. Is there anyone else coming in to help out? Insania, he's got Nisha with the backup, jumps in with the silence onto the two of them. Gaimin Gladiators having to keep that distance.
It's a bit deep this time from Liquid. They will reset. They don't have the damage, but the tower, it's in jeopardy.
It's going down in 18 minutes. Another tier 2 to be taken. Liquid continue to shut down the map.
Any growth from Gaming, it's just, when was the last time they actually got something going their way? It feels like a long distance memory just from the laning phase. They killed Mickey a couple times, but ever since Liquid just started grouping up and getting Nisha more involved with this Blink Dagger, there's just nothing Gaming can do to really fight back against all this team fight and control.
Yeah, already 19 minutes in, it feels like the toughest game for Gaimin Gladiators to turn around so far this grand finals.
It's starting to feel like head-on team fights are just absolutely impossible. They have to just try to stall this game out to get more growth. Tofu trying his best.
I'm just trying to waste Liquid's time.
The Birds looking to scout him out, but Tofu
Radiant's top tower is under
will be okay for now, but 33 still chasing
he's still
here.
Looking, man, he's gonna find him. Tofu, no escape from this. Leap still on cooldown for a few seconds. 33 is going to be able to claim more money here, taking out another.
It's desperation from Gaimin at this point. They don't have anywhere they can go. They're looking to stay around their Tormentor area, but they can't even look to go for that one there because Liquid could just look to pressure here off that. Roche soon on the menu here for Liquid too. 7 to 15. And they feel like they have, what, an out 80% control of the map or something. Look at where Gaming is attempting to find farm. They're farming one ancient camp and a hard camp and a medium, and that's kind of it at this point.
And even around this area, they're unlikely really to be able to pull together a defense around these tier 2s. We saw them try to do so on the bottom lane. When this top lane push comes in, we'll see if they attempt to go for it again.
I mean, Quinn's farm, it's just gone. He tried to make that first move with the blink, and if you don't get that first move that catches successfully with these Pangos, it can just be devastating. We see that net worth bottom of the cores. So many different ways to address this Pango. Even if they didn't have the BKB disable, they have the ways to just chain silence and pre-getting that Rolling Thunder.
Oh, Liquid. They're ready to keep the aggression going. Coming in with the smoke. Duraggio showing himself on the wave.
The Wisdom Rune and that Tormentor.
Nisha gonna try and lead him with a Dream Call. Duraggio's pretty deep under the tier 2. TP backup starting to come in. Liquid, they'll dive in with the burst, the Soul Assumption. Duraggio's so low. Quinn, he'll roll in position and get the Rolling Thunder to try and escape. Liquid, they'll get turned upon it by the Rolling Thunder. Good connection on towards Mickey, but indeed Mickey's still got half HP to play with. The Terrorize comes out over to the side. catching on to Celery and onto Quinn. Celery, he'll jump out over towards Ace. He'll escape, but Quinn, he gets left behind. The Gleipnir comes out, stuck in position. Quinn's out of the game.
They're 2 ahead, Owen. The auras that they've got on 33, this block plus this pipe, it just keeps Mickey alive. He also has 2200 HP on top of it. They've run out of damage already here on Gaimin. Liquid can claim this tier 2, claim the Wisdom Rune, deny that away, and even potentially steal a Tormentor. And Gaming expanded a lot to attempt for that fight and got nothing.
Yeah, they've got so many options, Liquid, on how they want to continue with this advantage. They'll opt to go for some pressure onto the tier 3s.
And look at Nisha pushing the limits here. The Parasma, the damage putting onto Celery below half HP. This tower is dropping.
Tofu trying to leap in, trying to burst through some of the wave, but won't be able to stop the push. The tower falls. Ace also ready to try and come in with a deep push. Liquid, they'll respect it. They'll back off, wait, at least for the next wave. We'll see if they stick around or want to back off for further objectives. Roshan would be available.
Daracho's gone all aggressive. They're feeling desperate. He's got the Gleipnir done. Can they get any pickup?
Nisha's already in. He's going to jump the backlines. He gets the silence on the 2. The 3-man Dreamcore comes through as well. Liquid, they'll push forward. They're happy to try and take this fight as they look straight over towards Daracho. Hook shot in from Insane. Rolling Thunder comes out from Quinn. They get the connection onto 33. 33 is incredibly low. They'll get him. They'll take him out with the power shot. Boxy still pushing in, is able to get the damage over towards Celery with the ultimate. Quinn, the Rolling Thunder comes to an end, but Gaimin Gladiators know they have to push on forward for this fight. They catch Boxy.
Best fight they've had all game here. They push them back. They get 3. Can they catch Nisha? Doesn't look like it. They almost actually got Mika as well. Very close there. Daracho just relentlessly chasing in. Best opportunity they've had this game.
Absolutely, and they were able to take the fight at a moment where they themselves secured the last hit on the Tormentor. They get themselves the shard.
Oh, good eye on that. I actually did not see that. That's pretty huge there. That's why there's that big swing. It went from, what, 15,000 down to 12K because they get that extra bit of increase because of that Tormentor.
Yeah, very impressive signs of life from Gaimin Gladiators considering the position they're in. We saw, Liquid, they got the Tormentor very low, and Nisha gets this good opening, jumping the backlines. They just weren't quite in position to burst and fully focus down one target this time round, Liquid, and that gave Gaimin Gladiators the chance to turn things. Quinn gets off an excellent Rolling Thunder, and Liquid, they're split side to side of the team fight.
90% of it is Quinn, right? We were saying he has to have the biggest impact possible with this Rolling Thunder. He did not get caught by that coil. If Nisha actually catches him there, could be a completely different scenario. Liquid still with a pretty massive lead, and Roche is still at their potential, so they were making the most aggressive play possible, trying to steal that Tormentor. Now they'll back up for the safer choice.
And Gaimin Gladiators, they're going to need to do that a few more times to be able to hold on this one. And as you say, this next time is going to be into the Aegis push of Liquid.
But look, it's interesting, the build, though. This is it feels almost necessary for Daracho, but it's not something we've seen every single time on these Wind Rangers. They've been adapting to get earlier BKBs, but Daracho's just like, I don't think I can do that. I need the damage to be able to fight through Liquid's advantage at this point. So he's going for the small crit, maybe the BKB after, but can definitely understand why he just wants all damage.
Talking about BKBs, Mickey, he can look to play it safe, get his online. He's just about 1,000 gold away from having that on top of the Aegis. So we'll have the timing to push him with both. And Gaimin Gladiators, definitely after that hold around the Tormentor, they're going to feel a little stronger. The question is, do they want to take further risks? And the answer is yes, they do. They want to look for the smoke into the Aegis timing, see if they can catch Liquid by surprise.
That is exactly what it is. It's taking a risk, and it could be quite a big one if you do it outside the base here. Nisha is still a very difficult task to solve.
Looking to bait around the rune.
He plays it safe. He's very wary.
Quinn's still looking for opportunities around the mid, but Liquid, they know that this sort of move now at this point is likely as the waves remain undealt with. They know that Gaimin Gladiators are smoked up and looking to try and catch them.
They just saw that power shot as well, too, so they know somebody was in the area here. Tofu puts down some vision. Gaimin
Are scanning.
Final few seconds here at the smoke for Gaimin Gladiators. They've been hit by the scan. Liquid, they've got good information on whereabouts Gaimin Gladiators are. They know that Gladiators are outside of the base and looking to make a play. Insania is ready to start charging the walls, and they get the tail up, but it's only onto the one of them. They'll look towards Tofu. Quinn, he's able to get the freedom to get the Rolling Thunder off. The auras are out for Liquid. It's keeping Insania pretty tanky as Tofu. He'll get left behind. Actually, no, the leaps are there. He's actually able to jump away just in time.
Boxy.
The burst comes out over towards Boxy. The power shot from Daracho. Duracho. Gaimin Gladiators, the first to claim a kill out of this team fight. Ace, he'll get trapped back by the cogs. The rest of Gaimin Gladiators, they will want to look to try and turn and help him out. Ace getting brought low by the harassment of the familiars. Jump forward from Quinn, he's in with the burst. Look at it, was Insania. Ace still alive, finally falls. Double kill for Mickey. Nisha, he'll jump out with the orb. 33 is able to stay on top of Celery. Nuke down the Marcy here with the soul assumption as Liquid. They'll still take the fight despite Gaimin Gladiators' willingness to try and tackle them. And now, immediately on with the push. Liquid, they're up to the top set of racks. Mickey and 33 able to claim those. And Quinn's found 33, but outside of the base, Quinn, can he get away from the rest of them? Duracho doing his best to help out as he holds Insania back with the shackle shot. Mickey TPing in. Quinn, can he escape this? He's got shield crash up in a second. The blink's there. Down to the low ground. Duracho caught back in by the Sprout. He turns, gets the shackle shot connection. Whirlwind out onto the two of them, but now he's started to back away. Insania has the cogs connection. He's trapped in the cogs. Duracho, he's gone. Tofu, he's got one more leap still to play with if Liquid can stay on top of him. Quinn, he's still teasing around with him. I mean, if anything, just trying to keep Liquid's attention away from the base, away from the high ground.
This fight's lasted 90 seconds or something like that. And they do catch the arrow, but do they have any follow-up? Looks dangerous. Quinn's considering it.
He's tempted to try and look for these crazy plays. He knows there's the Phoenix Gate backup as Ace is ready to join with them. The buyback comes out from Insania. Gaimin Gladiators, they're going to put everything into this fight, and Liquid's ready to try and return fire. The cogs are down. Quinn, his roll is about to come to an end. He's got a few more bounces left in. Turns towards Boxy with the swashbuckle, but the shadow realms back up. Boxy's fine.
Quinn's still alive.
Quinn jumps out with a shield crash. He's walking away from this one alive. As Quinn teasing around with Liquid. And despite this 14k gold deficit, Gaimin Gladiators, they continue to give Liquid these challenging team fights.
They're just trying to push the limits of their heroes. It's very risky plays that they're going for here, but it pays off. Insania buys back. They don't get that catch onto Quinn. He lives to see another day. The Aghanims is now finished. Still, massive gold lead, of course, for Liquid. Mickey still hasn't ages for about 80 seconds, getting closer and closer to that big item, the MKB, to deal with Duracho. Good holds there at the least there for Gaimin, but they did end up losing the objectives.
For sure. Top racks are gone. Progress made by Liquid. But without a doubt, Gaimin Gladiators, Tofu dodging the hook shot. Mickey wants to commit for this kill, but there's back up to Tofu. He's going to try and get the kill there. Wants the BKB, but Mickey's surrounded. He's not even going to get Tofu. Tofu gets away. Mickey, that's the Aegis gone.
It's him versus the world.
The backup's starting to move in. Gaimin Gladiators, they want to try and tackle Mickey a second time. Celery's in with the unleash, gets the disposed backwards. Nisha jumps in with a burst, but he can't save Mickey. Mickey gets taken out.
What a beautiful catch.
Rolling Thunder's back up. He's ready for the chase down. They look for Insania. Can he get the opening connection? He can. Insania trapped against the cliff. He'll try and jetpack away. The cogs are down, but Quinn's ready to dodge on through the cogs. Stay on top of him. Moves in with a swashbuckle. He's still living on a slither of health for Insania, but Quinn, he's going to blink back up. Jumps in with another shield crash. Quinn continues to toy with Liquid.
He's coming in so clutch. These catches, it's beautiful. Mickey not respecting his opponents. They have an advantage, but he just TPs alone in the middle of four, trying to get a pick off on just a position for Marana.
I mean, it was so aggressive.
It's such a risk to go for that type of play. This is the first time it feels like this series that Liquid's making some big mistakes and Gaimin is capitalizing on them.
We'll see it again here. You know, Tofu just minding his own business, taunting about. Suddenly a very fun Nature's Prophet comes for him, but it's a good job Tofu. He's got the boys to back him up. They take out the Aegis, and at this point, panic starts to set in for Liquid. They know they have to do something to save Mickey. Nisha's in with a combo, but they cannot bail Mickey out of that mistake.
Gaimin's trying to snowball off of these kills too. They've got a moment, about 30 seconds at least till clock's up. They're trying to find another opportunity. Rolling Thunder in 10.
Quinn, he is really getting some momentum right now.
Oh, he put this TP in. Mickey. BKB up in 1 second.
Oh no, Mickey. BKB's back up, but they're completely on top of him. Liquid, can they bail them out of this time around?
Coil on forward.
Look at the coil under the forward, but Quinn was all able to get the roll up. Quinn, can he get the angle to go back in the field? We'll push back the rest of Quinn's teammates here. The Gaimin Gladiators, they've got the auras popped. Ace is ready to push on. They're ready to try and find some action from this one as the Firestorm pit. Drop down onto 33. Quinn comes in with a shield crash. They've separated 33 from the rest of the team. And he comes in with his Duracho's on the side. And they've got Duracho. Can they get more? Quinn, this time around, he's run out of options. They'll get him this time. Ace goes for the TPI. He'll make it away. Celery as well. But Liquid, they won't let Gaimin Gladiators get away with that one. They felt that they had the chance to punish Mickey again. This time around, they did not. And as you say, at the moment, the BKB came back off cooldown for Mickey.
Literally last second. It was 1 second when they jumped him. It came up. He gets it off. He's able to reset a 4-man coil from Nisha. And 33, I actually don't even know how much damage he tanked in that fight because It felt like they were hitting him for it felt like 20-something seconds. And now Quinn dead for 35. Liquid looking for the second set.
Let's see how much they can take here, Liquid. Tier 3 in the mid.
Everything dies so fast, these buildings.
They've also got a halberd done on 33. He's ready to put a stop to that physical damage output from any of Gaimin Gladiators' cores. The mid racks going down. Liquid. How much more do they want to stick around for? The full lineup of Gaimin Gladiators back in play. Liquid will respect that.
Amp damage up top too. Nisha, he's going to want that one. 7-1 and 14 on this puck. The damage has been absolutely insane from him so far. And Mickey, he does have that big damage item now. On top of all the rest that he has to tank himself up, the MKB is finished. Gaimin have had some decent fightbacks climbing back into this game. It's getting harder and harder, it feels like, though.
And they've never quite been able to slow down that progress that Liquid's been making throughout it all.
It's just been growing and growing and growing. And it's not just that gold. The experience is also pretty darn high. Liquid just feeling very comfortable now in these upcoming moments. 2 racks is to pressure. The lanes are always going to give all the information they need. And the scaling just continues to grow. And while for Gaimin, the scaling is mostly just still increasing on Duracho. Yes, he has these amplifies, but more and more answers coming out for him.
Ooh, amplified damage and an arcane.
And an octarine that he just purchased before.
This next fight could get messy.
And they just don't really have great control to hold this puck down by any means.
Ace. They're going to try and get the jump on him outside of the base. Nisha starting to tease around. Drop the green, got a hook shot. Not going to quite get the connection in. Now the backup comes in. Quinn in with the rolling thunder, but Ace he's out of the game. We'll see if he considers the buyback. He has got it available. Quinn turning over towards Insane and out of the side. Ace holding back on the buyback for now. Tofu quickly tops to the side. Nisha is back in with the 3-man waiting with the solo. Duracho's been caught in the sprout. He's gone. They get Duracho. They get Quinn. The buybacks they have to come out now as Liquid are onto the tier 4s.
3 buybacks.
I'll push Liquid back for now.
Nisha resetting.
A triple core buyback. Liquid know if they can take out any of these cores once more, they may have just done it here.
They're just getting poked and prodded. They can't even walk up to harass anyone. 33 is taking literally no damage, it feels like.
Well, they get the jump in. Celery trying to open up with the Unleash. Nisha's in with a 2-man silence. Push back. There's the jump as well. The coil is on to the 3 of them. Quinn caught in the sprout. Will be able to break out. Nisha getting beaten up pretty hard by the Unleash. Boxy toying around with the terrorized threat. And 33, again, so tanky. They'll toss back in with the Dispose, but again, they're fully focusing him with the Terrorize. It's out onto the 4 of them. Boxy gets the setup. Celery's out. Another buyback has to come into play. Nisha, 4-man waiting with. The 4-man skull comes out. The curse grab. Boxy toying with the ball. They'll still manage to scramble their way back to the fountain, though, Gaimin Gladiators. But this time, Ace, he's out for 70. Slide forward from Celery. They get the stun opening onto Ascenian 33, but they don't have to follow damage to get the kills. The buildings are being focused. Liquid looking to claim the Mega Creeps. Rolling from Quinn. We get the angle to 33. Nisha, he's going to be able to kill them outside of the fountain. They're running out of buybacks, Gaimin Gladiators. Liquid, they'll get the final racks. 33, he'll fall though. He'll immediately buy back as the Mega Creeps are out. Liquid, they want to keep this push going. Gaimin Gladiators, it's just 3 against the world now. The tier 4's going down. Liquid, have they done it here? The coil onto the 2 of them as Liquid are getting the space to focus down the ancient. Jump forward towards Nisha, but the auras are out.
Down goes Duracho.
He's out.
Liquid are doing it.
To the ancient. Liquid are absolutely doing it. GG is called. Team Liquid.
Unbelievable. How many series was it in best of 5 that they could not bring it to Gaimin Gladiators, but when it mattered at TI this time around, they've done it in a spectacular fashion. 3-0 with Nature's Prophet first pick every single game.
Absolutely. The play from Liquid and the style that they do it in, it was phenomenal. Nisha on his puck, 11-1-18. We saw him he got so far in previous TIs, so close to the Aegis. This time he's able to do it. And again, as you mentioned, so many grand finals where Team Liquid, they fell at the final hurdle. And this time it made it seem like there was no hurdle at all. They stormed through these 3 games.
Only that first game, only those first 10 minutes of that first game looked problematic.